Alright guys, so welcome to another video. Today we're talking about the one Death Knight trick that nobody is doing. Well, at least I've not seen anyone do it yet. I've been doing every single raid every week in multiple different pugs, and I'm yet to see another Death Knight pull this trick off. And so far I haven't seen any YouTuber talk about it either. This is a trick that will dramatically increase your AoE DPS, especially when the pack of mobs isn't alive for very long. I mean, people rave about how the Frost Death Knight is so much better on overall damage when it comes to the overall damage of an entire raid because of Howling Blast, and Howling Blast is really quick, instantaneous, bursty AoE DPS, and it's great for killing trash because the trash obviously isn't alive for very long, and Unholy normally falls behind on this regard. And this is simply just untrue. Okay, because first of all, Frost is a mage spec anyway, so you can't even play Frost Death Knight, they don't even exist in the game. And the Unholy Death Knight do have a trick to keep up with those Frost Death Knights that don't exist. And this is a serious video, I'm not memeing or anything like that. And I'm not saying that Unholy is going to be better than Frost on trash and overall damage in raids, but we're definitely going to be better than people think. I think the Unholy DK can keep up. By the way guys, if you like this trick and you want to see more, do subscribe to the channel because I will have a video coming very soon about more Death Knight tricks, and be sure to follow me on Twitch. Now, I've used other tricks of the trade long enough to keep you watching. Time to actually get on with the trick. So, you can actually use Corpse Explosion on your pet. And if you know how to pull this off properly and optimize this trick, you can increase the damage of the explosion effect by a truckload. Now, I may be thinking, why on earth would you want to blow up your pet? That is a total stupid idea because it's going to be a DPS loss. Well, you're not going to use this like on cooldown when you're taking on a raid boss. You're going to use it on raid trash, and you're going to use it when ads appear on a boss, like for instance for spiders on Mayexner in Nax, or example, I've been using it on Sinister Reflections on Kill Jaden. It also has great usefulness in PvP as a finisher ability, and this is because the damage of Explode is absolutely mental. The spell is actually different to Corpse Explosion and appears as Explode when you look at it on details. Now, on a single target, the max I've managed to make it hit for is 4.8k. That's on a single target in one global, and obviously that is going to be multiplied by 10 targets. And I have in fact made Explode hit for 45k damage in a single global. Look at this footage of me clearing Hydro Trash. I'm actually pumping for 13k DPS. It's important to know that this ability does have a very small chance to crit, but it's very small. Like, I looked at my logs for an entire raid night, which is like over 2 hours. It barely ever crit, so it doesn't really seem to be based on your personal crit chance. And I have tested this, you can't increase the range any further by jumping or anything like that. I quickly ran into Alderman to test if it's AoE capped, and unfortunately it is, but it will still affect everyone close by. There's no limit to the number of targets it will hit. And if you resummon the pet very quickly, you can pop off 2 within the space of about 13 seconds, although doing a double pop is probably only a DPS increase on raid trash since you will have 30 seconds of downtime on your pet. Now, the damage of the Pet Explode actually scales off the pet's health pool, therefore it will scale with your stamina stats, and items like Kibler's Bits, the food buff that increases your pet's stamina, also increases its damage. It won't work on stuff like the Battlemaster Trinket that does increase your health, but it doesn't actually increase your stamina stat, which is what the pet's health is scaling from. And obviously the Glyph of the Ghoul that increases the stamina benefit from your stats for the pet by 40% also increases its damage. Not to mention all the different class buffs like King's, Fortitude and Mark of the Wild. When you're like unbuffed, you can get it to hit for like 2.9k, but when you're like fully raid buff, that's when it starts going up to 4.2 to 4.8k. Another reason why it's probably hitting so hard for me is because obviously I'm in Brutal gear and PvP gear has more stamina on it. I have also been using this at the end of raid fights since it is basically 4.2k damage for one global, and obviously when you are Wrath geared it's probably going to hit for even more, but you really do have to use it as late as possible because you are wasting potential pet auto attack and claw damage. So yeah, it has to be really late. You have to be really responsive to using it like within pretty much like 3 seconds before the boss dies. which is an ultra try-hard tip to get better passes, but it will do it. Now, to properly pull off this trick, you're going to need my special macro. Okay, weirdly, when you trigger the corpse explosion on the pet, he will start to channel the explode effect, but if you give him another pet command like pet follow or pet stay or something like that, the channel will be totally cancelled. This is why many corpse explosion on the pet macros, what I've seen on the internet, don't work. Because, you know, most people spam spells for that reassurance that the spell has actually happened. And when you spam it, it will get cancelled, and the runic power you consume on the corpse explosion effect will not be returned to you. So you have to totally keep pet commands out of the macro, otherwise you won't be able to press it multiple times. Now, this is the macro. What it will do is, if you don't have your pet summoned, it will summon their pet. Then it will blow it up. Then you can summon it again very quickly and blow it up again, all in one button. But be careful, you shouldn't really spam this too much. You just spam it at this first phase of the macro, but during that resummon phase when you use Raise Dead, don't spam it, because if you use it too early while your pet is still coming out of the ground, it won't work, it won't trigger the explosion channel, and then you also won't get your runic power back. So basically you spam it while you use it initially, wait for Raise Dead to happen, then wait about 3 seconds before you pop it again. Now here's some final notes. From my testing, Blood Presence doesn't seem to increase the damage at all. It's also insanely good for leveling, guys, so when you're like doing solo questing and, you know, pulling multiple enemies all together and clumping them up to AoE them down, the damage from like explosion is just nutty when combined with Death and Decay and dots. In fact, your dots won't have barely enough time to really ramp up their damage before the mob dies. And it's great for securing like the finishing kill in PvP, because for one global it is a lot of damage. It's effectively 2 death coils. But anyway guys, that is the end of the video there. I'm probably going to regret giving this tip away because now my like guild are going to start using it. But anyway, my name is MetaGoblin. To the next video, ciao.